replacing Saquon, what do we do? Oh my goodness. Dion Lewis was the featured back because Wayne Gallman was inactive. He had 10 carries for 20 yards and a touch. A lot of people were saying that he just can't identify the hole, or he's not quick to the hole, and he just kind of gets lost in the mix of things. I think on that touchdown run, which if you watch, you gotta, if you're a Giants fan, you have to tune into the Joe Judge Report. It's such a great video series that they have where he dissects one offensive play, one key offensive play, one key special teams play, and one key defensive play. He broke down Dion Lewis's touchdown on 4th and goal, which, that's what I kind of have been expecting from Joe Judge. And that's why I was wondering why he didn't go for the touchdown 4th and goal after the muff punt in week 1. Because I thought, oh, this is like his opportunity. This is like his welcome party. This is his arrival, his calling card. This is what is going to put him on the map, is going for it, quasi first drive of the game, 4th and goal, and we get it. And he didn't do it. He kicked the field goal. Here, he goes for it and we get it, and it pumped everyone up. Because and maybe it's a temperature check for him. He's taking a look at his team and he's saying, okay, we got this muff punt, but is the offense do I feel like they're in the right headspace to go for it? Last week, no. This week, yes. But he has high praise for Dion Lewis, and you can tell, and we'll get to the huge important signing. We wouldn't have signed that quote unquote top free agent who is still on the market after all this time if he truly thought that Dion Lewis was like the feature back. So I'm very curious to see how Garrett approaches the game plan against the Niners. I'll say that. Sterling Shepard also had a catch for a carry for 6 yards on a jet sweep. I'd love to see more of that. I think you probably should get Slayton in the mix. I probably get Evan Engram in the mix. I think, each of those guys should have at least 1 carry per game. I think you really have to throw as much as you can at today's defenses to confuse them and get them on their toes or on their heels. So you're looking at receivers. I said that Engram was going to bounce back, and he did. He had 8 targets, most of which were in the second half, 6 catches for 65 yards. Of course, most people remember that he slipped on that one pass on Jones' interception. You look at that interception, and again, people were correct to point out that Sterling Shepard was wide open on the other side of the seam, other side of the hash mark, and it would have been a first down. Instead, he goes to Engram, who slips, and of course, it goes for an interception. I also think that they are starting to now use him correctly. I watched a bunch of run plays where they had him with his hand down. He was not next to the tackle. He was, kind of back off the line in like a wing back type of position. And any run that they had, they basically just had Engram run like a wheel route, or like just try and make it look like he's releasing into a pattern to get his guy to follow him. And that was like the game plan. Like, we're not going to have Evan Engram block on a lot of runs. We're going to have him try and run off his defender to make it look like it's a pass. And with Sterling Shepard's injury, which, why did anyone ever think that Sterling Shepard was going to stay healthy? He's been placed on the IR. He'll be out at least 3 weeks with a toe injury, which, it's a freak thing. I don't know that you can prepare for that kind of tackle. I don't know how you train and practice for that kind of tackle where the guy's going to land on your friggin' foot and drive your toe into the turf. Like, how do you prepare for that? How do you I don't know. He had 2 catches for 29 yards and on 4 targets. And, I think it's tough. Concussions, injury prone. When he's healthy and on the field, he's great. But when can he stay on the field? And we gave him that massive extension, and at this point, I can't even, is he even really the number 2 receiver? Golden Tate had 5 catches on 5 targets for 47 yards, was basically MIA for most of the first half. And then, of course, he has that offensive pass interference to end the game, which, you look at that final play, and I'm sorry, everyone was You could have penalized everyone for pass interference, both offense and defense on that play. Engram got double teamed and was getting like straight up like groped and harassed and molested in the end on the goal line by two different Bears. It's like, yeah, Tate pushed off, but then another defender came up and clocked him before the ball got to him. So honestly, if you're a ref, I think you just got to go offsetting penalties, replay the down, and then go from there. Good to see that we got Dion Lewis a little more involved in the passing game. Of course, I talked about that shovel pass from Jones on the crucial third down when he was getting dragged down. He shoveled it to Dion Lewis. So I think it'll be nice they got to figure out a way. They were splitting Barkley out more, which is good to see before he got hurt. And I think they could probably do that with Lewis as well. And I believe Lewis is not that bad of a blocker either. Slayton, 6 targets, 3 catches, 33 yards. Not his best effort. So he has games like this once in a while. It's very possible that the Bears decided to shift their coverage and focus their attention on Slayton, knowing that they can't let him get behind them and they can't let him, get in those mid-level range, deep crossing routes, outs, whatever, what have you. So, and he also had that huge drop on the third down that ended a drive that could have resulted in more points. That was a bad one. That was, there was, it's a catchable ball. It's right in the hands, right in the chest, right in the numbers. Got to catch it. And if he catches it, he probably gets he not only gets the first down, but he can probably get a whole lot more yards after that. So CJ Board had 3 catches for 32 yards on 3 targets. Damian Ratley, 2 targets, no catches. Kaden Smith, 3 targets, 2 catches, -1 yards. Ugh. Still have not figured out how to get back to the Kaden Smith of 2019, which is frustrating. I mean, the alignment, the scheme and the alignment that's going to work for us on most downs. Kaden Smith lines up as the hand down tight end. Evan Engram is your slot receiver. Golden Tate is on the other side. Darius Slayton is outside. And I think that's what's going to end up being the one that gives you the best productivity. Got to see more out of Golden Tate. And maybe his hamstring was still kind of bothering him, but we need him to come up with a big play. And we need Slayton to come up with a big play. And that's how we stay in ball games. Kind of crazy that we brought in Damian Ratley in place of Corey Coleman. A guy who's been around the offense for, been around the team, familiar, and they just let him go to bring in this Damian Ratley dude who hasn't done shit. I don't know. Prove me wrong, man. But the biggest takeaway is our 29 points in 2 weeks is dead last in the NFL. We just got to score more points. We have to. And I know the turnovers are drive killers and we don't end up with points on those drives, but we need points. Got to get points. What stinks is like our defense is we're getting turnovers, but we're also forcing fumbles, but we're not getting on the ball. We're not recovering the ball. Like Logan Ryan had a forced fumble on Mooney, I think it was, who had himself a day and couldn't get on it. I think that's what the veteran leadership that Logan Ryan brings, that James Bradberry brings. They know that, okay, if you catch the ball on me, I'm poking that ball. I'm getting that ball out. So maybe you might have won the battle, but we're going to win the war.